Next up, I want to share with you some strings that I'm trying out right now. They're on my Thompson Dread. I'm going to share with you more of the sound of them here in just a second. But, you know, in my acoustic guitar world, in strings specifically, once I got turned on to the Santa Cruz strings, the parabolic tension strings, they are pretty much top of the heap, king of the castle, whatever, you know, witty phrase that I can't think of right now. And they still are, even after trying these Ernie Ball aluminum bronze strings. But you know how certain guitars react to strings differently? Well, I have a Martin HD35 and a 1935 Martin Single 017. Both of those guitars shine with the Santa Cruz strings. And I put the mid tensions on my Dreadnought. I put the low tensions on the small body. Great match for those guitars. Those guitars won't probably ever see another pair of strings, except for some other experiments I have going on. Those are for future episodes of Acoustic Tuesday. But the Thompson Dread that I just got, it's a new guitar. I put the Santa Cruz mid-tension strings on, and it sounded gorgeous, beautiful, right? It just sounded powerful and awesome. But then I thought, you know, I got to try these Ernie Ball aluminum bronze strings because I've seen them all over the place. I've seen a bunch of modern fingerstyle percussive type guitar players playing them. I've seen, let's see, Adrian Ballou, I've seen Mike Dawes, Andy McKee, all using aluminum bronze strings. And then the Acoustic Life Festival happened in June, and 10 minutes before he went on stage, Antoine Dufour is changing his strings. What strings is he using? The aluminum bronze strings. And I'm like, okay, these will clearly help me play just like Antoine Dufour. These strings don't allow you to play like Antoine Dufour, but the tone I was really floored with. Do I think they're going to replace Santa Cruz strings in my world? On some guitars, no, but quite possibly on the Thompson. And I say this because it adds a clarity to the low end that I absolutely love. I mean, it makes the guitar, it's just this crispy airiness, and it's this composed low end that I absolutely love. Like, it just has this beautiful presence and this power and punch that I think is a great match for the mahogany back and sides, the Adirondack spruce top. And I'm speaking of these strings very highly, but I also found a great video of Andy McKee. I'm sorry, not Andy McKee. I did find a video of Andy McKee. You can find that at acousticlife.tv/AT56. But the interview part that I wanted to show all of you is actually with Mike Dawes. And he just kind of shares his thoughts on and experiences on the strings, and I think it's totally worth a listen. So let's have a listen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hi, my name's Mike Dawes. I'm a fingerstyle guitar player from the south of England. I'm here to talk about the fantastic innovation from the guys at Ernie Ball, the aluminium bronze guitar strings that I'm currently playing. And the first thing I noticed is that these strings just totally locked into the guitar. It was like the guitar was meant to have these strings on. When you're playing these lovely harmonics and high frequency stuff, that they cut through incredibly well. When I put the strings on, they sounded how I imagined my recorded guitar would sound, if that makes any sense. I play in some quite unusual tunings, sometimes with the bass all the way down in, you know, C or even down to A, and they still have a lot of clarity and still a lot of brightness when you get down into that register, which was immediately apparent. They hold their tuning fantastically. Sometimes I find myself having to tune mid-set or mid-song quite dramatically with other strings, but these, as soon as I put these on, I feel like these are the strings that the guitar was born with. You know, it's part of the guitar, and I've never broken one as yet as well. So really fantastic strings. I can't really see myself trying anything else. You know, as soon as I tried these down in Arizona back in January, it just felt right. And yeah, I'd highly recommend these to anyone.
All right, so that was Mike Dawes speaking pretty highly of the Ernie Ball aluminum bronze strings. Now, just to show you that I did indeed try them out, I love the packaging on Ernie Ball stuff. It's just kind of classy, and I love it. Even the string envelopes, they just feel substantial. So I want to share that with you as well. But the other thing that really struck me when Mike Dawes said, he said, I've never broke a string. Now, a guy that uses that many different tunings on a single guitar who doesn't break a string, that says a lot. So I did a little digging, some Guitar Geek archaeological findings, if you will, something along those lines. Guitar Geek spelunking. I did some digging, and I went to the Ernie Ball site, and I noticed the composition of these strings. There's two things that struck me. Number one, the wrap wire, right? The E, A, D, and G strings are wrapped in an alloy of aluminum and copper, hence the name aluminum bronze strings. And the aluminum not only adds to that crisp and airiness of the strings, but it also actually resists corrosion, which was news to me, and I wanted to share that with you all. But the core wire that they're using for these strings is called miraging steel, and I hope I'm saying that right. The spelling is M-A-R-A-G-I-N-G. Somebody who knows more about metal might correct me, and that's totally fine. I'm not claiming that I know anything about metal. But I'm going to call it, so it's called miraging steel, okay? And it's a hex core wire, so what lies at the heart of the wound strings is that miraging steel. Now, I thought this was just kind of marketing speak and hype, and I was like, what is this? So I had to look it up, and I did. Now, here's the definition. Miraging steel is a steel alloy that contains up to 25% nickel or other metals, and it's strengthened by a process of slow cooling and age hardening. Now, get this. It has superior strength and toughness without losing malleability, meaning it's flexible but still tough, which I thought, well, that's no wonder they used it for a core wire. So pretty awesome little fact. So check out those Ernie Ball aluminum bronze strings. I mean, my experience with them is awesome on this particular guitar. I totally dig them, and I think they're worth an experiment for sure. And of course, if you want to check those out, you can go to acousticlife.tv/AT56. You'll be able to see more videos on the strings, a full write-up, and then of course those important buy links. And why are those buy links important? Well, they're important because if you use one of those affiliate links from acousticlife.tv, we get a percentage of that sale, and then we go ahead and pass that same percentage directly onto Guitars for Vets as a donation. So just by being a Guitar Geek, buying Guitar Geek things through acousticlife.tv, you're actually supporting Guitars for Vets, which is something we can all certainly get behind.